Hey guys, this is Allie with Allie's Vintage Camera Alley, and today I'm with another Argus Argoflex 75. It's a TLR, twin lens reflex. It's got two lenses here, one on top of the other. And this particular camera the shutter doesn't work, it sticks. So I'm hoping to take it apart and show you how to fix it. So what you're going to need is a tiny screwdriver for the screws, some Ronsonol lighter fluid to loosen up the shutter and clean it, and some gloves because I have sensitive skin, so you don't have to use gloves, but I choose to. You want to put something down that's color, not just the white, because the screws are tiny and you don't want to lose them or any pieces. So let's get started. So first we're going to take the screws out. And they're not too hard to take out. And they're real small, so be careful you don't lose them. Let's put them aside over here. Okay, now don't forget, there's two screws in here that need to come out as well. Now that the screws are off, you want to make sure this piece doesn't fall out, this little piece here. Just lift that up. Now this just lifts out. We'll put that aside. And there's the shutter. See, it sticks. So now, again, I just want to say I'm not a professional, so please do this at your own risk. If this is something you want to, this is just a cheap camera, so I don't mind risking this procedure. But I'm going to use some Ronsonol fluid, lighter fluid, which has been recommended to me, that it will not hurt the shutter. So I'm going to put some gloves on. I feel like I'm about to perform surgery. I got these gloves from the hospital when I was there. For 2 weeks I was in the hospital. Should at least get some free gloves while I'm there. Already. I just want to reiterate again that you are doing this at your own risk. This is lighter fluid and it's combustible, so you want to keep your area very clean, and you want to preferably do this on a rag or something you can dispose of after. And you want to make sure that you're doing everything safely, nothing hot near you, no fire or cigarettes or anything nearby. Just want to make sure that I stress that. I got a pack of these. They're pointed. I got them off Amazon for a couple bucks. And I'm going to try that first. You might want to wear a face mask for the smell. See the gunk coming off. Again, I can pour it over the shutter like this because you really want to drench it. So if it spills, it's okay. If it spills into the shutter. I'm going to get in there, keep the shutter open. Quite dirty. Really get it soaked so that it soaks in there, gets anything that needs to be loosened loose. Again, you can pour this over it if you want and soak it. I don't have an area to do that with, so I'm doing it here just a little bit at a time. Hopefully this will work. In the morning, because sometimes you have to do this a few times before it'll stick. And I'll be back to tape it again later tonight to see if it's still working tonight. I've come back and poured generously on the different gears. Very careful not to get it in the lens. You do not want to get Ronsonol on the lens, the glass. And it seems to be working. It could take a few times, a few days even. Sometimes you have to come back and do it again the next day. Something you want to put that much effort into if the camera's worth it to you. For me, this camera is just practice, and you know, it's a cheap camera. I may not ever use it, I don't know. It's just a learning camera for me. I want to be generous with the Ronsonol and let it sit and take the time to wipe off the gunk and just keep putting more Ronsonol until it works. It seems to be working. But I'm going to let it sit again and come back and check it again in about another hour. Alright guys, it seems to be working now. I've doused it with the Ronsonol and let it soak. If you find that yours doesn't seem to be working, or you just keep putting the Ronsonol, let it soak for longer, come back the next day and do it again. Do it 1, 2, 3 times if you have to. And then test it like I'm doing here. And it seems to be working. So while we have the top off here, I figure you should clean the mirror. It's pretty nasty in there. I'm just going to use a Q-tip. I actually have these long ones, so that's actually perfect for getting in there. Get that dirt off there. Yeah, look at all that dust. Now be very gentle in there. You want to be very gentle. Now let's get a flashlight. Check it. Ooh, it's still pretty nasty. I'm actually going to spray this. I think the Q-tip might have smeared it more instead. The Q-tip was good for getting the black stuff off and the dust. Yeah, that's better. So now, oh wow, what a difference. I didn't get to show it before, but when I would look in there was all kinds of dirt, and I couldn't get to it until I took the front off. And now it's crystal clear. And then one other thing I want to do before I put it back together is clean the viewfinders while I have them out. That hasn't been cleaned in a long time, I'm guessing, because it's really black. Somehow that's very satisfying to clean that. Let's get the front. Real dry. Looks good. Get another one. That's the actual picture taking lens. As I mentioned before, this is a TLR, twin lens reflex, so you've got the viewfinder lens up here, and then down here you've got the actual picture taking lens. And they're reflected to each other through a mirror, so that's why it's twin lens reflection. Nice and clear, looks real good. Alright, so now everything's clean, the shutter is working, and now we can put it back together. Remember, you took 6 screws off, and these last 2 screws that you took off back here are smaller than the other 4, so remember that. You're going to take this piece, and you want to make sure that this gold piece stays lined up with the hole, and then this lip has to go over the metal plate here. And then lay it in there. Let's test the shutter before we put it on. Hold that screen down. Let's open up the back. Don't let the screen go. Looks like it's opening up all the way. And have it on timer right now. See? There we go. Still working? Still working. Turn it back around. 3, 4, Don't forget these, the smaller ones that go back on. They're the most annoying to put on for the final step. Okay, so now just tighten up the front again. Now that I got the back ones in, tighten them up. Now everything is clean. Look how clean that is. Make sure that shutter's still working. Yep. Let's do a flashlight test. Put it in the front. See? Opening all the way. I'm putting it on timer so that we can keep it open. There we go. There's that light wide open. Hopefully one day I can modify this camera to take 120 film and I can actually try to use it now that it's clean and the shutter works. And that's it. If you guys have one of these cameras and it works and you've modified it and taken pictures with it, comment below, maybe share your pictures. Send a link to your pictures. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more.